How you doing and welcome to Sportce.com. We have a special guest today in studio, my man Lance Ball, running back from the Denver Broncos. What's good, Lance?
Nothing much, man. Just, trying to maintain, trying to stay positive,
Going through this lockout and everything, so you got a chance to maybe come back to the East Coast.
Right.
He's a native of Teaneck, New Jersey.
Teaneck, New Jersey, always representing.
So he got a chance to come back to the East Coast. Of course, we asked him to come in the studio, do a little interview, talk to him. Just tell us about, growing up in New Jersey, how that was, and maybe, going into college and things like that.
Right. I mean, coming from this area, such a popular area, had a great experience going to high school, diverse. I think just growing up in this area, the tri-state area, just prepares you for life in general, It's everybody's out here trying to make it happen, and I kind of put that mentality into college and just going forth in life, man. Just
so
great
area. You kind of come with that hustler attitude, that we're gonna make it attitude,
Only
right?
the strongest survive, baby.
Exactly. You went on to play at the University of Maryland. How was that experience for you?
It was a great experience. I played with a bunch of good guys that's known. Sean Merriman, Vernon Davis, Dominique Foxworth.
Sean Merriman went to the University of Maryland?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course, definitely a Terp. Terp for life. Great atmosphere.
He cool people.
Yeah, good dude, man. Real good dude.
My man Dominique Foxworth.
Yeah, another good person, man. Played with the Broncos. Actually left before I came there, but good guy, man.
Yeah, definitely. So how you like that DC area? How was it being down there in that area, that Maryland area?
It was kind of the same feel, same type of atmosphere.
Similar to Jersey?
Yeah, similar to Jersey, New York, so I wasn't too surprised. Most guys, when they come from different areas, they get kind of culture shocked and stuff, but it was kind of a smooth transition, man.
And then you weren't drafted, and we're going to talk about the draft a little bit here. We got the draft coming up next weekend.
Right.
And so the NFL draft this year, there's a lockout going on, what I mean? But there's still going to be a draft, but you weren't drafted. I wasn't drafted. You weren't drafted. We have that in common. Mm-hmm. And this year, if you're not drafted, you become a free agent, but free agents can't sign with teams. Can you imagine what that would be like?
That's tough. That's definitely messing with a lot of people's heads, And there's a lot of good athletes coming out of free agents, You can't really take the draft and say this guy's going to be, an impact player. You never know with the bunch of guys you get. So having the free agent pool is definitely big for teams,
I think it's going to be huge, especially going into training camp. In training camp, no matter what, you need bodies.
Bodies.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So, maybe when we were undrafted and went into training camp, maybe they thought we was just going to be a camp body.
Right.
But we ended up, making the team or making the practice squad or what have you.
Right.
So you started off in Indianapolis.
Right, Indy.
St. Louis do St. Louis even count?
St. Louis count. I was there on the practice squad for like a couple weeks. Then Indy picked me up. But St. Louis definitely helped me in my career, though. I definitely went out there and
let's start with St. Louis then.
Right.
So St. Louis, Lance wasn't drafted, and then you went on to St. Louis because they picked you up as a free agent, gave you a couple dollars to sign, and said come into camp and try to make our team.
Right.
How was that experience?
Well, first of all, going straight into the NFL was, of course you're gonna have your butterflies, be nervous. But it was a great experience, man. Like, I take football, it's just fun. I've been playing it all my life, just playing it with grown folks now. And it was just a great experience. I just try to, just out there make it happen. Get on film, do what I have to do, and see what happens after then.
Were you disappointed in not being drafted? Did that hurt you? Did that set you back a little bit, or just hurt your pride?
From playing, it kind of hurt my pride. From playing, like, you had that chip on your shoulder. So, like, I think every Sunday I step on the field, I got a chip on my shoulder. Like, I should have been drafted. Obviously the stats, what I do out there definitely proves that I should have been drafted.
So now you said when you went to St. Louis, that actually helped your career. How did it help?
Just, as far as this mentality, I could go out here and play with these guys. I thought it was like a big difference, big transition, but
thought it was going to be a big jump, but you got out there.
Once you get comfortable, get used to the speed of the game, it's just like regular football. And I learned the playbook, did what I had to do, and just made it happen.
So did you play any preseason games with them, or was it just practices?
I played all the preseason. Made the practice squad open.
Final cut, or you made the practice squad? How'd that work out?
Made the practice squad after the season. After training camp.
Exactly.
Sometimes they want to keep some guys. You know how that goes. But I stayed, made the roster, made the team where I was able to at least stay around. If they needed me, they called me up.
Okay, and then you made this. How'd the transition go? Because where I met you, was the first team I played for was the Indianapolis Colts. did the coach just come get you off of St. Louis's practice squad? Was there a little time where you got released by St. Louis? How did that transition happen?
Well, got released. It was through injuries. Got released. The Rams needed the space on the roster, so I was done for maybe about 3-4 days.
Okay.
After that, I was gone right straight from St. Louis. I was out straight to Indy, and that's where met you, met a whole bunch of great guys, and helped my career out there.
Now talk about your experience playing in Indy with some of the greatest players that have ever played in the NFL. I mean, a quarterback like Peyton Manning. You're a running back. So
right.
How was it? What kind of things did you learn from Peyton Manning, from a Joseph Adat, and other players out in Indianapolis?
We had Marvin Harrison out there, Reggie Wayne too. It was more just, to tell you the truth, it was kind of like a dream out there. You're like, man, I'm playing with all these Hall of Famers, a great organization. It was just great, from learning from Coach Dungy, you talk about, a team, getting your playbook, and just being accountable, and just, I try not to be that guy, be out there, not know what you're doing, and just learning the game of football, and just appreciating football and respecting the game.
So in Indianapolis, like when do you feel you knew, or was it in St. Louis where you knew you could be a player in the NFL and that you can make a roster, you can make a team, that you really belong? Did that happen in St. Louis, or was it you got cut from St. Louis and you had maybe a couple down days and you went to Indianapolis and you're like, you know what, I'm going to be okay?
I think when Coach Eugene told me, we're going to play you. You're going to be up. You're going to be up this week.
That's Gene Huey. Gene Huey out there in Indianapolis.
Yeah, everybody knows Gene Huey. But, right when he told me, he said, hey, stay in your playbook. Guys go down.
Now, was this in the middle of the season?
Yeah, this is in the middle of the season. He told me right when I got there.
This is the practice training camp. That's over. You're with the Indianapolis Colts.
Right.
It's in the middle of the season, and you're kind of like the next guy up.
Right, the next guy up.
So you were on the practice squad at first?
Yep, practice squad at first. And he said, stay in your playbook. You know how this league works. You could be up anytime. So he called me up. There's a few injuries, called me up, played against Tennessee, did what I have to do. And that gave me the confidence to be like, hey, man, I could do this. I could do this thing.
So we got Lance here. Obviously he said he'd be devastated if he wasn't drafted and he had no team to sign with, like it looks like the players are going to have to do this year. But what was the best city, you think, to play in, and for what reasons, or best city to live in so far? You've been in Indianapolis. Now you're a Denver Bronco.
Yeah.
What city was the best city for you so far?
I tell you, Denver's a pretty good city, man. They love their fan. They love, obviously, I love my fans, but I love how the fan base is out there. Once you get on and show that you can play some football, they fall in love with you. And I've been there going on my second year. So, I've definitely made my mark there and definitely got a good fan base out there.
Well, let's talk about that Denver experience and what the difference was coming from Indianapolis, a team that's always in the playoffs, Super Bowl caliber team each year. How big of a difference was it going out to the Broncos, a new head coach, Josh McDaniels, and maybe a new opportunity for you, though?
Right, definitely. Definitely taking what I've learned coming from a winning team to, a all right, mediocre team. We didn't have the best record, but, we had good players, but we just didn't put it together. But, just the work ethic. The work ethic was a little bit different. And, I tried to bring that over, to the Broncos and just represent and show that, just go out there and play football. Just cut all the BS in the locker room and stuff like that and go out there and play football. Respect the game and play football. But obviously it was a great opportunity, and I just appreciate it.
So as an organization, what are some of the biggest differences or coaching differences like that you've had to deal with coming from Indianapolis to Denver?
Well, it seemed like every year I basically had a new coach,
Running back coach, head coach?
Running back, head coach, this and that. It's always been a transition period basically for me. I haven't really been in that point where I was, comfortable. But I think it all has to do with yourself and how you just take the game. I'm a very humble person. I like to work. I just like to go in, get the job done, go home, And, I think going with that mentality will definitely help you in certain transitions,
So it didn't matter.
It didn't matter.
You went from Indianapolis and then out to Denver, and you said, I'm going to stick to my routine, I'm going to work, show them my work ethic, and,
exactly.
just be a humble guy that I am, that really kind of made you and helped you stay in the NFL.
Right, that's what you got to do. Take it as a business, man. Do what you got to do.
So what about this off season right now? You know, it's a lockout going on. You're not really sure when football is going to start. Right now, I believe y'all maybe would be in mini camps or something.
Camps, yeah.
Week before the draft, you'd have at least one mini camp. Workouts definitely going on. What are some things that you're doing differently because of this lockout?
I say like my regimen has slowed down. You know, I mean, guys can take their time now with things. You know, I do a lot of like certain things that other guys want to do, like doing yoga, stretching, like just certain things that are different from a certain regimen. But definitely slow down. Come back to Jersey. My head trainer's here, so DeFranco's gym. So I go there, you know, train and just you know, just take my time. Really, nothing really different. Just you know, just try to live a healthy lifestyle. You know. So
is you're going into? I say, would it be your fourth year? Fourth year in the league, depending on, you know, if you count the practice squad years, how you count it.
Right.
What are you expecting from yourself this season? Some of your goals. What are your goals this season?
Well, I'm expecting, you know, I've been up and down. You know, last season I was on the 53 for most of the season, you know, but you know, just make the roster for the whole season and just continue to grow. You know, you can always get better. You know, so just overall general as a player, just work on all my things, you know, aspects of the game.
I remember that game in Tennessee. It was towards the end of the year. A couple guys got hurt, and you know, the Colts kind of rested their players or rested their starters for the first round of the playoffs. And Lance started. You started, right? In Indianapolis. That was your first start, first career start. I believe you rushed. If it wasn't for 100, it was real close. It was
close, like 83
yards,
like 11 carries.
I mean, he was out there beasting. I was like, oh yeah. Yeah, Lance got it. And I thought from that day, I said, well, he's probably going to be the second running back, you know, because at that time, you know, the Colts were kind of struggling in the running game. And I said, Lance is going to get a good shot because he's a good running back. He proved it. You know, hopefully the playoffs.
Right.
But, you know, things kind of work out how they work out.
Exactly.
But now you're in Denver, you know, and you got a great opportunity.
Great opportunity.
What do you think about the new head coach?
He's great, you know, coming from the Giants, the Panthers, you know, all the guys around here, you know, have great things to say about him. I think he's definitely bringing, you know, a hard working attitude to the team and, you know, just a different thing. We needed a change of pace. You know, things weren't going as they were, so you got to switch things up. But, you know, great guy. You know, I haven't really sat down and talked to him. You know, it was more like a hi and bye, how you doing? But, you know, once we get back in order and I really meet him, I think, you know, things are going to go well.
Now, we talked about coaching changes before. And I know you've had many coaches, and Josh McDaniels was the head coach in Denver.
Right.
But last year, during the season, in the middle of the season, there was a coaching change where your running backs coach actually became the head coach.
Right.
Can you talk about that and how that impacted you?
Well, I think it impacted me greatly. He was definitely, when I met him at first, you know, he told me, hey, just keep fighting and hopefully, you know, you get your chance to play, you know, and I kept on doing it. Had a great preseason. Proved myself, and he's always been back behind me. So like once he was the head man, I knew it was on, and he'll, you know, let me loose a little bit. And it was great to have him as a head coach. You know, great guy, great person. He's actually used to coach with the Giants. You know, Coach Tiki Barber. So he had a great history behind him, and I knew, hey, this guy knows what he's talking about. He's seen great backs, and you know, I just don't want to prove him wrong.
So now you're dealing with a new head coach, John Fox, and a new running backs coach?
No, he's still there.
You still got the same running back?
Still there. Studeville, yeah.
Studeville
staying there, same OC, same O-line coach, so everything's looking pretty good.
Okay, so it's a lot of things that have remained constant in Denver, despite. What about special teams? Is special teams coach?
New special teams coach.
Ah, man, I'm going to miss my dude, man.
Right, Preef.
I'm going to miss Preef, man.
Preef, man, it's good dude. But hey, you know.
Yeah, that's how it goes. That's that business.
That's the business, man.
You realize that, you know, after you're done with college and you get to the NFL, you realize the NFL's business is totally different from college.
Definitely.
One last question I wanted to ask you.
Right.
This is kind of off the football subject.
Man.
I'll ask you a couple questions. Number one, who was your team growing up?
Oh, the Cowboys, man.
Cowboys fan?
Of course.
That's my dude.
The Cowboys fans.
A lot of you know, y'all may not know out there unless you Wikipedia me and Lance and put us right next to each other, you know, pause. But me and his birthdays are one day apart. Like,
both Geminis.
Yeah.
You know,
he's the 19th, I'm the 20th.
Right.
So we got some things in common. I was a Cowboys fan growing up.
Big Emmitt Smith fan.
Big Emmitt Smith fan.
Definitely.
Definitely. Okay, and so you Cowboys fan growing up, even though you're from Jersey.
You know,
I get a lot of slack for that. A lot of heat
from the Giants,
Philly
fans, Jets fans, Philly fans, but they couldn't say nothing about the Cowboys.
Nah, because we was killing in the 90s.
The Aikmans, the Troys,
come on,
Ray
Michael
Allen.
Irvin?
Yeah,
come on.
It's enough said.
Nah. The O-line, Nate Newton, dudes like that. Okay, last question. Top 3 artists. Top 3 artists ever. We're going to go top 3 artists, top 5 artists ever. We'll make it easy. Top 5 artists ever and top 3 artists right now.
Okay, I'll give you top 5 ever right now.
Okay.
Wow, I'll give it Tupac, Biggie.
Is this an order or is this just naming them?
I mean, I'll name them. I had to sit down and really analyze it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Some people like, you start trying to put them in order. It's like, I don't know if I want to put this guy 1, 2, or 3, but they all in the mix.
We're gonna say artists. As artists, I say Tupac, Biggie. Always like Jay-Z, and I'm gonna give him a curveball. I like SP, Styles P.
Okay.
I think he's a good artist, a great artist. And then for the 5th one. Wow, that's a hard one for the 5th one.
What about a guy like Lil Wayne? Everybody says Lil Wayne should be in your
Lil Wayne, yeah, but
top 5. What about Snoop Dogg? Snoop Dogg's got a longevity. He's been in the game a minute.
Snoop is good, but I'm an East Coast dude, man.
What about who else you got? You got a guy like Jeezy or Luda?
Luda's a very lyrical. He's a good MC. It's hard, like music.
What about your boy Lupe?
Lupe's
coming up.
Lupe's a great artist. Yeah, I'll give it to Lupe.
AZ, old school, Nas,
right. There's a lot
Jada.
of artists. Five constricts it.
If you could put the whole Dipset into one artist.
Ooh, that'd be, because we're on the Dipset.
If you could just mash them all into one artist, I think they got to be like top 3.
Right, but I think the top artist now that I listen to, of course, gotta say Jones. I like
Jones. Jones is up there.
I'm on the Wiz Khalifa wave.
Yeah, what did you think about his album?
It was alright. His mixtapes. He has good music.
I feel like okay, we're gonna get into the music thing. Since we here, me and Lance be talking music. I feel like Jim and Wiz, like they mixtapes is better than they.
I think they give them a little bit more freedom on their mixtapes.
I think that's part of it. They don't have that overhead. They don't got the label on them. Like, no, we want you to do pop songs because that's gonna sell more.
Just for the record itself. But the mixtapes, they have more freedom.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Also, I like a lot of underground, like Currency. Currency.
Yeah, he's on his way.
Yeah, I like a lot of like underground artists, like like the Cool Kids, like the Mikey Rocks. I like all them dudes like that.
That's what it is.
Good music, man.
So we got your top 5 ever. You really didn't finish off the 5th one, but that's
my bad.
We got your top 4 at least. So your top 3 right now in the game. You got
top three right now. If you used to go in the car and go through my CDs, definitely be a Wiz CD. It'll definitely be a Currency CD.
Top 3?
Yeah,
in the game right now. Okay. All right.
We can make this a whole debate. Yeah, of course, the Styles P. Styles P is always in there. Gotta keep it, because sometimes you in that mood.
We're not talking about Ghost in the Shell.
Oh man, that was
classics.
But man.
I mean, what about you? Got Drake.
It was a good wave for a minute, but
what about Ross? Ross is real strong right now.
Of course, Ross. Yeah, Ross.
Wayne is real strong.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Wayne fan. I'm a school of the old Wayne, like the Carter 2.
He still makes good songs.
He does. I mean, he sells music.
Now, what about a female rapper like Nicki Minaj? Does she get the proper respect from males that
I gotta
she
give rest to
deserves?
Lady Luck. Lady Luck from around the way. So rest to Lady Luck. Nicki Minaj is cool, but it's the industry thing.
Yeah, that was more commercial.
More commercial. I like some real artists, man, that you talk about some real stuff.
Exactly. So that's what you got. You got Currency. Lupe ain't in there.
Lupe's in there. I'm telling you, I listen to a whole array of music.
Okay. You go rock and pop and all that too?
I don't know about the rock, but definitely R&B.
R&B?
Definitely R&B.
What about R&B? Who's your top R&B artist?
I mess with Raheem DeVaughn.
Yeah, okay, Raheem DeVaughn.
Good music.
Of course.
Who else? I mess with, of course, Trey. Gotta give it to Trey.
Trey songs.
He's good for the ladies. Gotta throw it on for the ladies.
Trey songs, yeah.
And I'm a kid, even though this is kind of a, outside the park, he's done some crazy stuff. R. Kelly has a good album. I like R. Kelly music.
Yeah, you can't argue. With Kel's, if you put his portfolio and everything he did against anybody.
Exactly.
It's going to stack up. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? You can't argue with that, regardless of the controversy or whatever else is going on.
We're talking music. We're not talking other crazy
Just
stuff.
like Michael Jackson had controversy going on outside of him as a person. Exactly. He was a great artist. He was the best ever, and nobody can argue with that.
Can't argue with it. When it comes down to music, you can't say nothing about it. What you sell, can't say nothing about it.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Like I always say, men lie, women lie, numbers don't.
Numbers don't, man.
And we got number 35 right here. He came in studio.
Tracy Cinco.
Tracy Cinco?
Yeah.
Like,
I might change it.
That's like Ocho Cinco,
like
but
Tracy Cinco.
That, you know what? That kind of sound kind of feminine, like a dude named Tracy.
Yeah, you're right. Trey
Cinco.
Right.
Trey Cinco. You got
Cinco. Yeah, that was a good one.
Trey Cinco. You got to Tracy. You got to lay that C off.
Yeah.
Trey Cinco. You know what I'm saying? Lance Ball, appreciate you coming down to the studio, man. Sportce.com.
Sportce.com, baby.
Lance Ball, 35, number 35, running back for the Denver Broncos. Check them out this season, whenever the season starts.
Hopefully. Soon.
When do you think it's going to start?
I'll say May. Hopefully, May, July, probably July.
You know what I said? And Mike, you know, my co-host for our show, for our daily show, I said, Mike, they have to get things done by July. They do not want to have this going to training camp.
Please,
because then nobody's gonna be ready.
Be ready, just mentally, physically,
and to gel, and you know all that. You know, it's a lot of practice, a lot of work that goes into football and meeting time.
Meeting time.
Like a lot of people don't realize that. They think, oh, you know, if they get a deal done in September, they can start playing the next week.
No,
it's not like
that. It's not happening.
It's not like that.
Definitely not.
It's a whole month of training camp.
Right. A lot goes on behind the scenes. It's just you just don't go out there and play. You know, it takes a whole lot to have a winning team, a winning organization. You know, winning attitude. It takes a lot, man. A lot of work.
Lance Ball. I'm Darrell Reid. This is Sportce.com. Y'all take care.
Take care.